Let's get corrupted. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Joe with Meteoric Serpents coming back at you for another episode of the Colubrid Corruption Podcast. Guys, it's great to be back. Episode number 83. Today is just a solo episode as we approach the brumation / breeding season of everything. I wanted to give a whole entire rundown of what my 2026 season is looking like and how I'm going about everything. So figured I'd sit down, hang out with you guys in the chat, hoping for some good chat interaction tonight. We could have some laughs, have some fun, and just talk about it. But yeah, I wanted to go over everything with you guys and just kind of put it all out there. Maybe someone who's getting new into breeding maybe wants to hear what I'm doing. But yeah, so good to be back. Glad to be here as always. Another week down. Guys, if it's your first time tuning in to the Colubrid Corruption Podcast, make sure you leave a like on today's episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are at, what is it? I don't even know what count we're at, but trying to get to 1,200. I know we're on the road to that, so help us get there. Guys, I was going to show a screenshot on the screen tonight. I swear I looked at it. The last 28 days, only 56% of my viewers are subscribed. That is absurd. That cannot be tolerated. I need you guys to hit that subscribe button if you're watching the podcast. It means the world. Share it out with a friend who may enjoy it as well. Also, if you don't necessarily like listening to this on YouTube, that's okay. You could listen to this on all the major audio podcasting platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube Music, all that good stuff. Check us out there. Give us a 5-star review or a 5-star rating and leave a review. If you can, that always helps out. And again, share it out with your friends on those platforms as well. As always, guys, my social media is always down below at Meteoric Serpents, pretty much everywhere. I keep forgetting to advertise this, but go check out my Morph Market store. Have some animals there, a few Texas rats. There will be some cockeye posted up there soon. So if you're looking to get into some cockeye, some bamboo rats, I got them. You could hit me up beforehand too. I have one of the 5 that is reserved. But otherwise, all the others will be looking for new homes as well. So yeah, guys, make sure if you're looking to, give back to the reptile world in more than one way than just, your regular day-to-day, you should definitely consider donating to the CCR Conservation Fund. This year at Colubrid Fest, I've been saying it, we raised $20,000 at the auction going directly towards Colubrid conservation. Zach, Dr. Loafman, who I had on last week, and his students, have been out in Iowa doing some great research on hognoses and the other native species. And again, this is going straight to Colubrid conservation. You could go to Colubrid and colubridradio.com and go find it there to donate. So definitely go consider doing that. Also, guys, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but the first link in the description below does go to the Meteoric Serpents Patreon. If you're looking to support this show a little bit more than just watching, there's always that. If you're looking for exclusive access from me, but a little more behind the scenes of what goes on here at Meteoric Serpents, early access to pre-recorded episodes, ad-free episodes, all that good stuff. A lot of other cool perks. You should definitely go check it out. I highly recommend it. I think the members would say that as well. We got a cool Discord group chat of all people who enjoy Colubrid. So it costs as little as a cup of coffee a day, and the lowest tier, $5 per month. Just help me put on the show and build a good group people. So consider joining the Patreon. And as always, guys, oh yeah, Montross in the chat, I'm wearing the Dark Horse merch. Speaking of merch, though, you could go to fulviusapparel.com to get yourself the best reptile related merch around. I'm wearing my Fulvius hat. I'm wearing it backwards though, but Fulvius Apparel, Justin, great dude. He makes some awesome designs. I have a bunch of shirts here, whether it's shirts, hats, hoodies, go check out fulviusapparel.com. Use code CC10 at checkout to get yourself 10% off at, on your order. So again, that's code CC10. Some of the best herp merch around. You won't regret it. Get yourself some swag and go check out fulviusapparel.com. I will also say, if anyone's ever looking to sponsor Colubrid Corruption, inquire within. You could always feel free to reach out if you want your brand to get some more traction, whether it's just yourself as a breeder or a company, whatever it may be. Always feel free to reach out. I'm happy to talk about that. Get your name out to some more people. Let's see. And we have our hashtag Colubrid Corruption of the week before we get into the topic at hand. I hope I didn't use this one before. So I don't know what happened, guys. Instagram's algorithm is definitely off. I'll just say for hashtags, like when I clicked on hashtag Colubrid Corruption, it was showing me like the same 10 posts or so, along with a bunch of posts that just did not have the hashtag on it, which is really strange. So I don't quite know what's going up with that, but I hope it fixes itself, and maybe it's just a little bug in the system. I don't know. But here we have a really cool king rat snake from Palm Beach Colubrids, of course. Friend of the show, former guest of the show. John doing great things with the king rat snakes. I'm not sure if this is the leucistic or the lemon morph. I know there's a couple ones that kind of produce this leucism and some yellow tones in there. But yeah, really cool animal. King rats are awesome. I got to check him out at his place. So yeah, go, if you don't already follow him, go follow Palm Beach Colubrids on Instagram. Thanks for sharing, John. And again, guys, use hashtag Colubrid Corruption on your colubrid photos. That way I give a shout out once per week to someone who uses the hashtag. So yeah. All right, guys. Say quick what's up to the chat. We got Keller in here as usual. Like I said, we have Montrose as well. I'm repping the Dark Horse shirt. And we have Mason, Patreon member. Appreciate you, Mason. Big support as always. Always love and appreciate my Patreon members. We got to hang out at Colubrid Fest and, just have a good time. But yeah, guys, the topic at hand tonight, I hope some more heads turn around for this one. So I wanted to kind of lay down my entire breeding plans for 2026. Now, some people may not always like doing this, whether they just want to keep it close to the vest or, they just don't feel like just putting all this information out there or making a post about it. But I thought, I'm very public. I'm out there about my collection. So I figure I share with you guys what my kind of plans are, what I'm doing to get these animals into cycle, and yeah, just do the whole thing. So I made a nice little Word doc so you guys can follow along, especially if you're listening. And yes, I'll be kind of reading off that, but I made it well in depth, so hopefully the message carries across. And I shared this doc with my Patreon members as well. So again, first link in the description below is all of this and some more in-depth information regarding this. But I'm going to start with the ball pythons. Obviously, this is a Colubrid podcast, I know, but I figured I share all the animals just because maybe some people want to hear it. And I know I have some ball python listeners as well. So yes, the Meteoric Serpents 2026 breeding season, starting off with the ball pythons. We got quite a few males and females. Not necessarily sure if all the females will make it up. I don't know if I talked about this like on the show. So when I moved to New York, for those who don't know, I'm in New York now. I've been feeding my ball pythons live rodents for a good amount of time. It's just easier. The ball pythons are a little more receptive to it. And I had a live feeder source, and that just wasn't doing well. And the person was on his way out of the hobby. So yeah, it just it didn't really wind up panning out. I tried looking for some other people, got kind of rejected because my order would be too small. In my head, business is business, but I guess so be it. So I have moved to frozen thawed, and because of the move, some animals have been a little weird with eating. Some of them have taken a frozen thawed like it was nothing. So some of them are just kind of here and there about it. So I'm just a little unsure with the ball pythons what exactly is gonna happen next year. John, honestly, I did not. I just figured overall, it would save me less trouble if I could get my entire collection over to frozen thawed. It saves me driving, it saves me having to purchase every week. It's a lot more convenient because I just walk to the freezer that's right behind me, the nice little chest freezer, and grab stuff out of there. It's been going relatively well so far. I've gotten uh, 11 out of 13 of my ball python hatchlings to take at least one frozen thawed meal off the rip, which in my head is a good achievement so far. And I think we'll get 13 out of 13 in the end. Hoping I don't have to go buy live mice at like pet store prices. So yeah, that's what we're rolling with for now. But it's working so far for the most part. Some of the adults haven't exactly changed over, but it is what it is. So to kind of get into it, our 3 males for the season. Mojave Doublehead Hypo Puzzle male. He's been my stud the last couple years. And this year, honestly, so he's a big boy. I believe he's a 2021. He's like 1,200 plus grams. He's a good size. But this year, honestly, he's going to be my backup male because he's not what I want to use. And his son is a bit more powerful than him genetically. So we'll get right in. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor. Now you can. Okay. Yeah, he's going to be my backup because he'll get the job done no matter what. He's a breeding machine. So yes. Then I don't know when it was. I guess late last year, I acquired a GHI double het hypo puzzle male. Really excited about that. GHI is extremely coveted in the puzzle project. It makes them look awesome. I mean, GHI is a cool gene on its own. For those of you who know, I love the Hypo Puzzle Project. Obviously, GHI Hypos, GHI Puzzles, so awesome. And GHI by itself is amazing. And then the boy who's arguably the most powerful of the season, he's definitely the key, is this Mojave Puzzle Het Hypo. Now, I produced this male last year, so in 2024. Mason, no localities on the ball pythons. These are straight morphs. Yeah, so this guy's important because he's arguably, or not even arguably, he is the most powerful one because he is visual puzzle. So anything he breeds to will be het or visual guaranteed. And the het hypo there as well, which I had to have shed tested. And this guy, the first one I mentioned, is his dad. So yeah. Now our females, double het hypo puzzle female, she was our amazing female last year that gave us a visual hypo puzzle. So I'm hoping she could go again. She did not take to the move well at all. She was the hardest to get back on food. In fact, when I switched over to the frozen thawed, she ate twice in a row for me. She just skipped today. So she's still being a little annoying. I might have to throw in a male with her to maybe like get her started. If that starts follicle development, sometimes that gets them going on food. So that's that. But she's an adult, a proven breeder. So I'm excited for her. This girl, the first time, Fire Yellow Belly Het Puzzle. I acquired this girl probably a year and a half ago. She's definitely up to age, a matter of, I think she'll be up to size by the time she's laying eggs. She's over 1,000 grams for sure. But I'm excited to get Fire and Yellow Belly in the mix. They both look great in puzzle. So yeah, excited about that. Now this Pastel GHI Trick female, I bred her this past year. She was actually the first ball python I got to lay eggs for me a couple years back. And she produced some animals actually with this guy, the Mojave Double Het. And I have to shed test her offspring from this year and kind of see what comes back. Unfortunately, she messed around and gave me 5 males and 1 female in her clutch. So I was looking for more females. If one of those males turns out being powerful, I'll be okay with it because I really like the GHI and Trick genes there. And Pastel works great in that combo as well. But yeah, this is a pending shed test. Then we also have another one that bred for us this year, Pastel Vanilla, Desert Ghost Hypo. Who again, I have to shed test her offspring. Those two are on the chopping block just in terms of space and project advancement. Kind of depends what comes back on their offspring. So if I get stuff that's favorable, they'll probably hit the market. But yeah, we'll see. Then we have a hypo head puzzle. She, I would say, is pending size. She's been reluctant on the frozen so far, but I think she'll go. I think she'll take eventually because her appetite was great beforehand. And an OD double head hypo puzzle, also pending size. So with the ones, I'm pretty sure about, or even the pending size one. So I think we're going to go GHI double head hypo puzzle to the double head hypo puzzle. I just want to hit a GHI hypo puzzle. Whatever, chances may be low. It is what it is. But I want to shoot for it. And she gave us good luck last year. So why not try again? Then I also want to take that GHI double head hypo puzzle to the hypo head puzzle. This is just increasing our odds for the GHI hypo puzzles. Yeah. And then again, so I highlighted him because, again, he's just our most powerful here. Next, I want to take the Mojave Puzzle Het Hypo to the Fire Yellow Belly Het Puzzle. This gives me much better odds to hit some good puzzle combos. So, yeah, that's the goal there. And then I think I'm going to take the Mojave Puzzle Het Hypo to the OD Double Het. Try to hit some more hypo puzzle combos, hopefully. Yeah, and other females to be determined. Like I said, yeah, I haven't sent out the shed tests yet. If I miss real heavy on the genetic odds, they may come back in the rotation for this year. And also, I did not list any animals. Any animal not on these lists at all, they're just not breeding this year. So don't think I don't have them. Just some stuff is growing up. So that's that. Now, to really get into the colubrids, so here's the big overview when it comes to brumation here. So today is October 12th. I have been and I will continue feeding respectively normal size meals at my standard frequency, which is every 7 days. Even as the weather has been cooling outside, and yes, I have been regulating this room a bit. They've been exhibiting the kind of same metabolism. They're pooping 2 days after a meal, so nothing. They're not slowing down quite yet. And then also, so I've been observing temperatures because I've been talking to you guys a little bit here and there. I have, attic access. I have this closet here in my room. So 2 days ago, it was quite cold outside. 2 days ago on October 10th, the outside temperature was 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I temp gunned the attic, which was reading at 50 degrees. So that's cold. Then it's matching the outdoor temperature pretty damn well, which means if it gets into the 20s here, that attic is getting into the 30s, like guaranteed. So that's way too cold. But then our closet here was reading at 66, which does not, take in the heat from the radiators. So this is the perfect one. And I put in here, this is the way, for those of you who know The Mandalorian. So here's my kind of reasoning behind that. None of my current colubrid species that I'm keeping need to get ultra cold. We're talking, and we're about to get into this, but we're talking Texas rats, we're talking rhino rats, and we're talking the cockeye. That's what's breeding this year. And we've had conversations about the rhino rats, on multiple episodes. If you get them too cold, they might hit a shock. So I'm hoping that closet gets somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees. I don't think it'll get much lower than that just because of the inside temperature of this room. So I'm thinking it's going to stay. I think at max, it's going to get like 60 on some really cold days. But we'll kind of see. We'll track it and see what's up. Now I have planned in my calendar that last meals for all of these colubrids will be October 26th. That is the weekend of Halloween, basically. I think Halloween falls in the middle of the next week. So last meals will be October 26th. We're going to let them chill. We're going to let them flush out. Now, Thanksgiving is November 27th. It's quite late into the month. That is the weekend when I will fully put down all those animals into brumation. And the way I'm going to be doing that, which I have in the past, actually, it's not much different than what I've done in the past. Besides the fact that it's going to get cooler in that closet, they're going to be in lock tubs in the closet. No light, no food, cool temps. That's kind of the way with colubrids. You trigger the, those are the three things: light, food, and temperatures. In my opinion, if you fail at the temperatures, sometimes for some species at the very least, if you hit the other two metrics very well, you will still properly cycle them. So even if we don't, we're probably not going to touch like 50 in there, which I don't want it to anyway. I think they will appropriately cycle. So that's that. Now, with that said, pairs and trios will likely be cohabs in that space. I don't really know if breeding behavior will occur over the winter, but just in case it does and the females start some follicle development, they could get some breeding in if possible. I'll be putting the pairs, and you'll be kind of seeing all this in a couple minutes. But yeah, I'll have them cohab. They're usually in smaller tubs than how I keep them in the main room, but obviously this is a cold space. They're kind of just their metabolism shutting down. When you're talking about space for these guys, like they're kind of just going to sit in one spot almost asleep for a couple months. So that's the reasoning behind that. Now what I am up in the air about, and people can chime in on this how they may like, I'm debating if I should do some sort of substrate for them or just leave them on paper towels. I've done paper towels in the past just to give them a little something, and I'm debating whether or not I want to use water bowls. If I do use water bowls, I'm probably going to use, I'm just not going to fill them a lot. The thing I hate the most in brumation is spilled water bowls if I'm doing like little checks on the animals. So yeah, because obviously you risk RI that way, just too much humidity and they're cold. So I'm open to hearing your guys' thoughts on this. I don't know how you keep them, if you keep them relatively plain or if you just use paper towel. And then what about the water bowls? I don't know. And in this case, that's definitely a grammar error. I actually prefer the not extreme temps. It makes sense when you say it out loud. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying before. It'll work fine for Texas rats, cockeye, and rhinos. And my goal is to do the true brumation that colubrid breeders do, Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day. I don't know if we will make it that long based on the temps. We'll kind of see. I'll be, keeping a good, good idea on everything and, just making sure that these animals are not losing body mass and stuff like that. Did I forget to put it in here? Yeah, and I'll probably do little mini weekly checks on the animals just to see hey, you doing all right? Sometimes people lose animals in brumation. It happens. I don't think that'll happen for me, but stuff can happen sometimes. But yeah, just probably weekly checks. Just try to leave them alone as much as possible, though it is my closet where clothes are. So I'll try to do my best not to disturb them too much. All right. Man, where are the people in the chat tonight? I was hoping, man, when I'm solo, you guys don't want to hear it. But the episodes actually get good views afterwards, so that's okay. I was hoping to chat to some of you guys. So first on the agenda that we're showing here, the Thai bamboo rat snakes, OP cockeye. So I have a 2.2 group. You guys may have thought I had a 1.2 group, which is technically true of ones that were up to breeding size, but the next male up is actually definitely of age. He's a little bit smaller than the full-grown adults, but I'm sure he could get the job done. I've raised him since hatchling size. Just to kind of recap our 2025 results, female number one gave me a clutch of 5 first. That was 2 good eggs, 3 slugs. Those 2 hatched and have been sold. And then she laid a double clutch, which was the perfect clutch of 5. Those are the animals I have now that I'm feeding up to get established. Then that other female number 2, gave me a clutch of 3 slugs and then 1 slug on the double. So she needs a recycle. And actually, so there's a funny conversation to bring up. The cockeye don't, quote unquote, it's been documented that they don't need to brumate. I'm thinking if I get them a little bit cooler, a little bit more relaxed, that they'll actually, kind of recycle their bodies a little bit. That's the kind of goal there at the very least. So yeah, I just want them to be healthy, have the females' bodies recycled, and yeah. And then, like I said here, I may use male number 2 to not spread number 1 thin, because I'll be switching him off between both females, or maybe even cohab them as a trio, but I may just keep them separate and do 1.1 in each tub. That's a good way I could go about it. Now, ultimate goals for this season, what would be great in my opinion, 2 clutches of 5 from each female would be ideal and amazing to really level up my cockeye production in 2026. I was very glad I was able to really, quote unquote, figure the species out in 2025, and I'm just very excited about this group. And even with that said, 2 clutches of 5 from each may be selling myself short, because they can multi-clutch. They could go 3, they could go 4. So, there's a chance I could have a lot more than 20 on my hands. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that may pan out. Now we have the rhino rat snakes. These I've been hyping up pretty well for, the last little while, the last few months. I have a pair that's ready to breed. At least I have a young female who's years away from really being able to breed, but I'm excited to take the dive on this species for the first time. The male will be turning 3 years old in late 2026. He's been putting on size fantastic. He eats like a champ. He's pretty much fully changed color wise. Like, he just has more room to grow. So yeah, I mean, good things there. I think he's definitely old enough to get the job done. The female is a virgin, turning 5 next year. She's 100% ready to go. She's a 2021, and I acquired her as an adult. So yeah, I'm excited to join the pair together. Now they'll join the ranks in the brumation, and like I was kind of saying before, after advice from many of these podcasts I've had on here, I don't want them getting too cold, which is why they fit in quite well with the rest of the stuff in this brumation that I have setting up. And yeah, so the female is in a 3x2x2 enclosure, and my goal is to cohab and breed them in there in the spring. And I'll get prepped to get my minnow on for hopefully for some hatchlings. Obviously, that's going to be an experience. It should be interesting. I'm confident I'll be able to get the job done, but we shall see. I just, obviously the big hope is just getting eggs. So that's the goal for me, is just getting eggs from them. Oh man, I'm breezing through this way too fast because we're getting almost done here. Okay. Then we have the Texas rat snakes. All right, there's a lot to unpack here. A lot of animals to potentially pair. And I'm going to kind of group them up here for you guys. So I have a 1.2 group. These are I'm gonna put together. So the first one, the male, is a quad het for scaleless, albino, leucistic, and anery. I have a female that's the same thing, so she's part of that group as well. And then a triple het female, which is triple het, scaleless, leucistic, anery. So scaleless, leucistic, and anery are in the mix for all three of these animals. The triple het does not have albino, whereas the quad hets do. So that's hopefully I could get that trio to go for me. Then I have my pair of cadmium Texas rats here. She gave me slugs this year, unfortunately, which I talked about. But if you guys didn't know that, she did lay eggs for me. They were just unfortunately all slugs. So that was a bummer. And then I recently acquired, I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but double het scaleless albino to the same. It's a pair of double hets. And these are the biggest Texas rats I've ever had in my collection. They are huge. I was told that they are, the female is a 20 plus egg layer, like no problem. And I don't doubt it for a second. Again, she's huge. And she's produced scaleless albinos and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get that pair going. But yeah, they are just monsters. But yeah, hopefully I could hit some. I don't have albino in the collection, or any visuals at least. So maybe I'll hit myself some visual albinos. But yeah, there's lots of potential here. Oh, I'm sorry. And then we have my scaleless leucistic female, who is the mom of Hourglass, I'll call her famous scaleless Texas rat. Not sure if I'll use her this year. Maybe I'll throw in something with her and see how it goes. But yeah, just unsure. But in general, there's lots of potential. There's the chance of double clutching, the het odds hitting, and just overall variety. As I've talked about, Texas rats are some of my favorites. Strictly on variety and just what you get in the offspring. And especially with like the multi-het animals, it's going to be a very mixed bag. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Probably my biggest goals with the Texas rats are producing my own scaleless anery. I had one in the collection a couple years ago, thanks to Kevin, but that's back home with him now. Maybe a scaleless snow, which is scaleless albino anery. That would be really cool. But yeah, so lots of goals there. Hopefully hit some really nice animals. And again, guys, this is just talking about what's actually ready to breed, not even what's coming up in the future, because there's a whole lot more where that came from. But if I could get, 4, maybe 5 girls to go, that's a lot of Texas rats we're talking about. But I'll be very excited on any of them, honestly. If I could get any of these girls to go, I'll be excited. But yeah, same process as the rest of them. They're going in the closet. They're gonna brumate. We'll see how they do, and hopefully come out and just be beasts. Hopefully have some offspring. I've been late with Texas rats in the past, so I'm hoping maybe if I get the timing right, some mid-spring, early summer hatchlings, just would be really cool. Now, coming out of brumation, now this is a big piece, because this may be where some people get it wrong. But yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. Assuming we go all the way to Valentine's Day, and even if we don't, whatever we get to in terms of timing, hopefully at least a month and a half down, because that would make December, January. Yeah. If we even get like a month and a half down, I think that'll be solid at the very least. But yeah, so we're going to bring animals out, let them settle back into their new environments, and then we're going to be feeding heavy. This is something I think I've gotten wrong the last few years. I've never, altered my feeding regimen to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to breed them, like maybe I should feed them a bit more. I talked to Dr. Whitman extensively in the car ride to and from Colubrid Fest, and I got to learn a lot. And yeah, so I just think I haven't been putting enough effort to packing on the calories as they come out of brumation. So here's what we're going to be doing. I want my females to be taking at least 2 large meals per week, and I'm saying large, respective to size, like the species size. Um, and I'm not sure if they will be back to back meals or like every 4 days. Like meal if I fed today, meal today, feed again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Just feeding them on a very fast schedule, or if I'm feeding like just big meals at once with like two, prey items. Um, Unsure, but we'll kind of see how they look. The Texas rats are kind of beasts. I mean, even the rhinos and cockeye are too. But yeah, we'll kind of see what the animals want to do. Really, those calories are just for follicle and egg development. Obviously these animals expend a lot of energy when they lay their eggs. They look really deflated. Sometimes they can look really bad. So if we could really pack them up with calories and energy, one, this helps to prevent dystocia or egg binding. Two, helps them lay a healthy clutch of eggs and make sure they can get the job done when the time comes to lay. So, yeah. And then I do want to stress I will not be trying to get these animals fat. If I do see that, I will genuinely lay off the meals, but like their metabolisms are quite fast and every meal really counts with them, especially as if you're pairing quickly into the spring, you could have a snake laying, 5 to 6 weeks after pairing. Like that's quick. So you need to get those meals in as fast as possible. Yeah. And then I want my males fed kind of just as well, maybe a slightly smaller rodent, but I want them eating just in case they go off of food. I personally have not had a male colubrid go off of food. Yes, I'm talking about a very low sample size, but I know it happens. But these guys have aggressive metabolisms as well, so I'm not really concerned about them getting too fat, though you never really want a fat male because he may not get the job done. So that's fine. So yeah, we're feeding hard. That's really the big premise of this paragraph here. If they're not already, cohabbed, start pairing after a few weeks of meals, maybe even a couple weeks for some of them. And then it's really just a matter of letting things roll and see what happens from there. There's not much more I could add to this. If there were more species, I guess there would be more stuff to talk about. I'm open to questions if anyone has them in the chat. Happy to have a conversation here. But I typed this all up today, thinking it would go quite a bit longer than it has already. I guess I'm a fast talker. But yeah, that's really the breakdown of what's going on. And hopefully, I'm seeing eggs, and I'd like to have eggs early to mid spring at best. If everything starts laying in the summer, I guess that's definitely a possibility too. But if I could have start laying quickly, that's great. The ball pythons, when it comes to laying, their reproductive process just takes so much longer. I have no expectation of when they would go. If I start pairing animals in December, they're not laying till like June, July. So yeah. Let's see. Anything I missed? Which one? Kevin, you missed it. Let's see. The Texas rat list. Here it is again. I know, Aaron. I haven't posted pictures of them. I've taken pictures of them. I'll send them to you once I get off of here. But they're freaking huge. Kevin, here it is. So quad het to quad het and quad het to triple het, the cadmiums, and then the double het scaleless albino to the same. Yeah, that's the overall goals. If I want to breed this scaleless leucistic, I might throw the quad het boy at her. I think that would be the animal that makes the most sense. Yeah, I could even potentially throw this double het scaleless albino, um, and just try to make some cool scaleless animals. I guess there's there's a couple ways I could go about it, but we'll kind of see. Um, but yeah, that's the goal. So how many total clutches are we potentially looking at? This is going if all this actually goes to fruition, this is going to be my biggest year. So I'd say not even guaranteed. There's potentially 4 ball python clutches, which would be my most. Um, we have the 2.2 group of coxeye, which could be literally anywhere from I'm gonna say 2 to like it could even be 8 clutches. So just 2 females can give me anywhere between 2 and 8 clutches. So I'm just gonna leave that number range in there. Then we have our rhino pair. I'm more than okay with 1 clutch. Just 1 clutch there. And then the Texas rats, another 4, and that's not including potential double clutches, which is of course a chance. So, oh man, what did we just say? So at max, I'll do what's max. Even though it's very unrealistic. So we got 4 there. I guess I'll call this 8. 12. I don't think that's realistic at all. So 12, 13 plus another 4, 17. And if we double that, that makes 21. 21 clutches. I don't think we'll get anywhere near that. And I think I would be way too overwhelmed with that many babies. But technically, if all works, I guess technically that could be my max. But I'm thinking we'll be more in the range of 4, 5, 8. I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10. 10 is a better number than 21. So yeah, that's my goals, and that sounds daunting in my head. I've obviously never had that much production before. It would be my true breakout year, but if that happens, I'm ready to roll with it. Um, yeah, and just super excited to see where that goes. Hopefully people are very interested in Texas rats, cockeye, and rhinos, and maybe some ball pythons, and I'll have some snakes for sale next year, no doubt about it. But yeah. And just a reminder to that, guys, when it comes to my availability, again, Patreon, first link in the description, gets you, first dibs on any animals I produce and a discount at that. I think that's an important thing to note. So it's almost like, your contributions to the Patreon, it's essentially a credit because I will discount snakes you buy. And first dibs. Like I'm gonna make an example. Phil got to get his first dibs on the coxeye this year, and I'm very happy they went to him. If anyone were to get them, I'm very happy it was to one of the members and someone who has become a good friend over the last couple years. So yeah. Other than that, that's about it. But yeah, I don't know if you guys got any other questions for the live chat. The live chat was a little weak tonight. I hope I hope the people hear this. Maybe people will have questions afterwards. Anyone who has questions ever, you're always free to send me a DM. Happy to talk about whatever it may be. But yeah. So again, I just wanted to really be transparent about that and let you all know what my plans were for 2026, and I'll keep this tradition going. We'll do it next year. I'm sure things are going to evolve next year, the animals that are ready and up to size. So things will keep changing over time, and maybe I'll switch pairings, but I don't think so. I think that's a pretty locked in what I put on that document. I think that's kind of locked into what I'll be doing. At least definitely on the cockeye and rhino rat part. The Texas rats, we could switch pairings up, but I probably wouldn't, just for the purposes of what's there. The ball pythons are up for debate. The males can kind of interchange there and still get pretty decent results. So yeah, I think that's just about it, guys. Let's see. Anything else I wanted to talk about? I hope everyone who was at Tinley had a good weekend. Kevin, I'm not sure about Tinley in March, but maybe Tinley in October. I just know the October Tinley is the show to be at. But maybe I'll consider March. Yeah, I mean the biggest thing about the fall, I guess, like Colubrid Fest is my priority for the fall. So I want to make sure I can always get and be there and have animals available at Colubrid Fest. That is my 100% when it comes to reptile shows. That is my priority to be at every single year. Tinley would be very cool. Probably get to meet a lot of people I haven't been able to meet in person before. So Tinley would be great. Chris, you were there? I wasn't sure if you were there. I saw a bunch of people posting, so I'm kind of lost in it and a little out of the loop. I've been busy. I guess just a personal thing about myself. Let's see. I'm starting a new job next week, so that's cool. Excited to do that. Oh, okay, last minute. Yeah, so I'm starting a new job next week, which should give me. It's not even that it's more flexibility, but the schedule is nice, and I'm just excited for the opportunity and career growth. I'll leave what it is off for private talking, but yeah, just very excited about that. Nice, Chris, an Angolan and albino Argentine. Nice. But yeah, so that's what's changing in my life. Let's see what else is going on with the collection. I don't know. I told you guys before about switching over to Frozen Thaw, which, by the way, off of Chris's recommendation, Chris from Copperhead Reptilia, if you didn't get that, and Phil, I ordered from ARS, like the rodents, for the first time. And I have to say, I was extremely pleased with my order, both on the cost, the shipping cost, and the quality of the rodents I got. I have also heard, because this is a concern to some people, with the whole Chinese rodents thing, I've heard that ARS insures their shipments. So if stuff comes in delayed or thawed, ARS will send it back / deny it, basically deny the shipment if they get stuff from overseas. There was a lot going around, especially last year, about the Chinese rodents, which if you look at all the facts on the matter, what the actual problem is with those rodents is them getting shipped, them thawing slightly, and then refreezing. That is the issue and why animals have passed from other rodent companies. I'll just put it at that. Yeah, China has their facilities. So Brian Barczyk did a video a long time ago of him in a Chinese rodent facility. They keep that thing lab sterile. It is crazy how sterile they keep it. The Chinese are just very particular about that stuff. Like they're wearing full suits and stuff, and like they keep things clean. Like it is not the rodents themselves, guys. So I know people have that in their head, but that kind of got disproven last year. It's a matter of were the rodents ever thawed and then refrozen. That is the main issue. And if the companies aren't taking proper what do you want to call it, like quality assurance protocols, that's where the faults are going through the cracks. So when I heard that about ARS, it gave me even more confidence to order. And I can say I've been feeding my animals these rodents for the last few weeks, and I have nothing but good things to say about it. I made a big order. It was probably the most I've ever, bought in terms of frozen rodents. Got a lot of rats because that was the first time I had to do that. So it hurt in the moment. But yeah, it's worth it. Just buying in bulk. And so what's cool about the site is that it tells you like how much percentage full your box is as you keep adding things to your cart. And they do a flat shipping for the box. Now it's dependent on where you live. If you're on the West Coast, good luck because ARS that shipping sucks. It's like $100 for the West Coast, but I'm on the East Coast, which is their like cheap zone. It was like $39 flat shipping. Freaking fantastic. It was a giant box. I actually still have the box here because I just haven't thrown it out. But yeah, packed really well. All the dry ice, all that good stuff. Everything came in high quality. Been feeding it to everyone, and I have no qualms about it. So that was the deal there. And that's what I'll keep doing until I don't know. I don't know if that'll change ever in the future, but as far as I know, to me, that's some good quality stuff. So if anyone's been looking for a new frozen feeder, and in my opinion, the prices were very competitive, especially on mice. The rats, I'd say, were along the lines of what I was paying at like very good bulk prices for live down in Florida. And to get that frozen shipped to my door, I can't really beat that. Paying the same prices. So yeah, that's why I was very excited about that order, and I've been just excited to have my freezer freaking stocked. So yeah, if anyone's looking for that, I genuinely recommend. And if something changes in the future, I will let you all know. But that is the truth for now. Yeah, let's see. I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to cover. Everything's good. Life's good. We're heading into winter. It's getting cold. Like I said before, it was like 45 out the other day. Back to the cold Northeast, and we had a nor'easter roll in today, which I guess would be good pairing weather in the spring, but it's just not that time now. So feeding away for the next couple weeks, it's really only a couple more weeks of feeding these adults, and then I get to take a break. I'm actually so not that, it's not a lot of work. We're talking about a few animals, but that little less cleaning because these adults are messy, especially Texas rats. I'm a little excited for the break. I still got a bunch of juvenile stuff growing up, which is not going down into brumation. I'm keeping them out here, and we're going to be feeding them through the winter, but definitely a good break will make the room smell a little less more when they poop. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's see. Next week, so since I have free time, I guess I'm just on my soapbox now. Next week, I need a pre-recorded guest. If anyone has any suggestions or would potentially like to come on, I don't often do that. I'm giving an open casting call. I need a pre-recorded episode for next week. My parents are visiting for the first time since I've moved here, so I cannot do a live episode on Sunday. I will absolutely do a pre-recorded episode sometime in the middle of the week with someone. But I need that. Then following that, the end of October, the last weekend in October, we have Dr. Whitman finally coming on. Been excited for that one. As you guys know, as I told you, I traveled with Dr. Whitman to Colubrid Fest. So we had a good 20 plus hours of free time talking. So I learned a lot from him. We could probably, oh my gosh, the length of the episode, if I kept prompting him with questions, we could probably literally have a 10-hour episode just on stuff. His knowledge is insane. But I'm definitely going to construe some very good questions to make his episode worthwhile and his, hopefully about 2 hours worth of talking worth it to you guys, the audience. So excited for that. Um, let's see. We're at 55 minutes. Do we stretch this to an hour or do we call it? Thanks, Mike. The shirt. Yeah, I love my Dark Horse shirt. I wear it all the time. But yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight, guys. I don't think I missed anything going on with the reptiles or my personal life. I kind of just gave it all to you guys. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this one, guys, make sure you leave a like on today's episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Share it out with your friends. Check us out on all the major audio podcasting platforms: Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, all that good stuff. Let's see. First link in the description below. Again, goes to the Meteoric Serpents Patreon. $5 a month is the lowest tier. If you want to support this show a little bit more and be a part of it, please feel free. And I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Billy was episode number 2 of Colubrid Corruption. For those who don't know the original lore of Colubrid Corruption, Billy was episode number 2. But yeah, Billy probably deserves to get another episode on here for sure. Yeah, so go check out Patreon. First link in the description. Thank you to Fulvius Apparel, as always, for sponsoring, making the best herp merch out there, reptile apparel, whatever you want to call it, shirts, hats, hoodies. Use code CC10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Again, that's code CC10. But yeah, guys, that just about does it. This was episode number 83 of the Colubrid Corruption podcast. Again, this was my 2026 breeding plans. I really hope you all enjoyed. Again, if you have any questions about this episode, feel free to hit me up. Any advice, maybe something I missed on here, or any input you want to give, I'm all ears. If you have any further questions about what I'm doing, if you're new to this, hit me up as well if you're just curious about the process. But yeah, again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.